What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dasher Speaks, where I give you information about herpes, the latest scientific discoveries, details about my personal research and discoveries, my experience with the virus. I give you tips on how to naturally manage it and share information on how to naturally cure it. I contracted herpes in 2010. I have been researching and naturally managing since 2018. My aim is to educate the masses, to give anyone who has it hope, and to cure it naturally. If you are new, welcome. If you have not done so already, please like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. In today's video, I want to give you some knowledge about what herpes really is. I have run into so many people that don't understand the virus. And for that reason, when you don't understand things, you become afraid of them. So I want to clear the air about some things. So the first thing that I want to touch base on is the definition of herpes. So I just put herpes meaning in, searched it, and herpes is any of a group of viral diseases caused by herpes viruses. Now, notice that viruses is plural, meaning many, affecting the skin, often with blisters or the nervous system. All right. And then you see here Greek, it says shingles, to creep, different versions of that. So that is the definition of herpes. And now I want to direct you to an overview of the herpes virus infections. Again, infections is plural, meaning there are many. So herpes is not just genital. It is not just cold sores. There are other strains of the virus, and they are all in the family of herpes. They're all a herpes infection. Here on mercmanuals.com, and this is the consumer version. I just chose this resource because it went into detail about the different types of herpes infections. You can see here on the side, but we're going to go through them in today's lesson. So, says 3 herpes viruses: herpes simplex virus type 1, herpes simplex virus type 2, and varicella zoster virus, they call it herpes virus type 3, which causes chicken pox and shingles. So type 3 herpes virus causes chicken pox and shingles. Now, herpes simplex virus HSV infections. Herpes simplex virus infection causes recurring episodes of small, painful, fluid-filled blisters on the skin, mouth, lips, which they refer to as cold sores, eyes, or genitals. This is very contagious. Let me go on and click on this and see where we go right here. Herpes, this is HSV. This is the type 1. So type 1 is cold sores. Sores on your mouth. You see people, they get cold sores, fever blisters, whatever. It's a cold sore. It's a strain of herpes. It's herpes 1, type 1. Okay, so I clicked on to herpes simplex virus HSV infections. Wanted to get more detail on HSV1, cold sores, mouth blisters. Anyone who has ever had mouth blisters, experienced a cold sore, you have herpes type 1. So here it is again. Herpes simplex virus infection causes recurring episodes of small, painful, fluid-filled blisters on the skin, mouth, lips, which are cold sores, eyes, or genitals. So we're talking about cold sores specifically, but it's telling you the different places where you can see a herpes outbreak. painful, small, fluid-filled blisters. Okay, they are very painful. And I wanted to go in more. Is this very contagious viral infection is spread by direct contact with sores or sometimes contact with an affected area where no sores are present. Okay, so um, direct contact with sores. So if somebody has a cold sore on their mouth and you kiss them or touch it, you have contracted herpes type 1 now. If that area is affected at all, meaning if you're just getting over an outbreak and there's still the virus is still shedding in that area, you are able to pass it. So I'll do another video about that and go into more detail about how to pass it, but there has to be some active shedding going on for that to take place. Herpes causes blisters or sores in the mouth or on the genitals. Type 2, HSV2, which is what I contracted in 2010 and what I have been managing naturally since 2018. And today is July the 26, 2023, and I have not had an outbreak all year long. So gratitude, kudos to me, because I am doing some research. Okay. And often with the first infection of fever and general feeling of illness. I don't remember having a fever, but I did feel like something was going on. We'll do another video about that as well. Just want to give y'all the definition. The virus sometimes infects other parts of the body, including the eye and brain. Usually doctors easily recognize the sores caused by herpes, but sometimes analysis of material from a sore or blood tests are necessary. Now, I wanted to get a blood test done because I wanted to see, how much of it I had gotten rid of. And they wouldn't test me because I didn't have an active outbreak. So that from the doctor saying this to me, that they don't normally do blood tests for herpes. They want to test the sore because that is when the shedding is created. That's when, you can pass it. That's when they can get some of this virus and test it to see that it is the virus. They did not want to test my blood. So that's just some nuggets for y'all. If you have herpes, you will know that you have herpes. If you come in contact with someone and they give it to you, you will feel it immediately. It is not something that is going to take a while to figure out if it's there. You don't got to go get no blood test or none of that. If you get a blood test and it's in your blood, that means you already have a strain of that virus. You could have chickenpox. You could get cold sores. I'm going to go down the other shingles. I'm going to go down the other ones as well. So be mindful of that. If someone passes it to you, you're going to know immediately. All right. Yeah, because it don't waste no time. I contracted it, and that night after I contracted it, well, it felt funny immediately after, and then that night a sore came up, and that next day it was full blown open. It hurt, it burned, it itched, and I had to go to the doctor. And that was in 2010. I was 20 years old. Let's see. What it says here is no drug can get rid of the virus, but antiviral drugs can help relieve symptoms and help symptoms resolve a little sooner. I disagree that, no drug, but natural herbs can cure and get rid of this virus. And yeah, it can, because I have gotten rid of 97% of the virus in my own body. So we'll talk about that later. But antiviral drugs can relieve symptoms and help symptoms resolve a little sooner. I have not taken any medicine. Valtrex is the medicine that they normally prescribe people who have herpes. I have not taken any medicine. I quit taking Valtrex Um, I think it was 2018, 2017. It might have been 2017, like the end. I'm trying to remember exactly when, but I have not had any Valtrex. And I have been managing it naturally. But anyway, and here we go, HSV1, which is the usual cause of cold sores on the lips, herpes labialis. I guess that's the way you pronounce it, and sores on the cornea of the eyes. So the eyes, HSV1, the mouth, HSV1. If you get cold sores, you have HSV1 herpes. HSV2, which is the usual cause of genital herpes, which is what I contracted. And yeah, it hurts. Uh, this distinction is not absolute. Genital infections are sometimes caused by HSV1. So you can have HSV1 on your genitals. I actually contracted a strain of HSV1 on my genitals as well. So HSV1 and HSV2, but HSV1 on my genitals. Infection can also occur in other parts of the body, such as the brain, gastrointestinal tract. Um, Widespread infection may occur in newborns or in people with weakened immune system, particularly those with HIV infection. So they say people with HIV have herpes or will get herpes, somewhere along those lines. It's very contagious and can be spread by direct contact with sores and sometimes by contact with the mouth. If they have an outbreak, or genitals of people who have HSV infection. It says even when no sores can be seen. I disagree with that because I've never given it to anyone. And you don't want to have sex while you're having an outbreak. I mean, I never did. Everybody's different, but I just can't see someone having intercourse in that type of pain because it's very uncomfortable, very painful. It does not feel good. It will have you feeling some type of ways. So it is a virus that after the primary infection, HSV, like other herpes viruses, remains inactive, dormant, or latent. That means it's still in your body. It's just hiding right now. It's not out and about. It's just sitting back chilling in the body for life. That is what it says. A latent infection may not cause symptoms again, or it may periodically reactivate and cause symptoms. Different things will cause you to react. I remember eating hot stuff and having a reaction. I remember having rough sex and having a reaction. It's just different things, and it depends on your body. But that's HSV1, cold sores, HSV2, genital herpes. Both are strains of herpes, and you have a herpes infection if you get cold sores. If you get sores on your bottom, HSV2, HSV1, cold sores, mouth, eyes. So many people don't understand what the virus truly is, and then when you find out people have, they look at them a different type of way. We're going to pull up to how many people in the world have herpes virus too, because it's a very common virus, very very common virus. I know a lot of people that get cold sores and they just call them cold sores, but if you call them what they really are, then people are going to look at you some type of way. But that is because most people don't have knowledge of what it is, and don't have knowledge of how it works. Everybody that I know had chickenpox when they were young. So if chickenpox is herpes virus, then all of us got motherfucking herpes. Is all I'm saying. I'm just saying. Now, if you didn't get chickenpox, and you ain't had no experience with no other strain, then you don't have a strain of it. But chickenpox was very common when we were little and growing up. But because it isn't called herpes, or is the term that we use every day isn't herpes, then people just, oh, chicken pox, but then you say herpes and then people turn their nose up. But nigga, you got a strain of it too. Like, we all in this shit together. And actually, this is for all of us that have it, because we don't have to keep walking around with shame and fear and being afraid to be intimate and be in relationships and trying to figure out how to tell people and all that stuff. We need to embrace this shit, and we need to embrace it so much that we find a way to cure it and heal it and rid ourselves of having it. But first you have to embrace it and love yourself with it, and manage it naturally. Let's manage it naturally. I'll have some more stuff coming up about the scientific discoveries and vaccines and cures and stuff that I'm hearing them talk about now. But I haven't taken any of that stuff. And like I said, today is July the 26th, 2023. And it is 6:32 p.m. where I am currently located. And I have not had an outbreak all year long. And I don't go see traditional doctors often. I don't. Like, it's got to be really serious for me to go. It's got to be something that my chest of herbs cannot heal in order for me to go. But they are very knowledgeable now. I'm not going to knock, the doctors and nothing like that. They are very knowledgeable, but they are not telling you everything either. But that's besides the point. Let's get back to the video. So we went over herpes simplex 1, HSV1, cold sores. You can get your eyes. Herpes simplex virus type 2. And now we are going to herpes virus type 3, which causes, what does this say? Chicken pox. Say it together. Chicken pox. So let's click on chicken pox. And see, because I know almost everybody I motherfucking know had chicken pox when they were little. So that's herpes virus number 3. Okay, so let's clear the air. Because while y'all run around talking shit about people that have the virus and turning your nose up and passing judgment, you don't know the story. You don't know how it happened, what happened. Motherfuckers ain't just being loud and proud and saying, hey, I got this going on and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, blah. It ain't like that in this world. Okay, you don't want to tell people. But, I've been there, and now, I want to. So I'm just putting it all out here, just everywhere. And I, still have my own little struggles and battles and stuff with it, because it's, I'm just now starting to embrace it 100%. So chicken pox. Let's go over chicken pox. Chicken pox is a highly contagious viral infection. You remember when you got chicken pox, motherfuckers stay away from you, don't want to touch you or nothing, because as soon as you touch it, you start goddamn itching too. I remember when I had chicken pox. They had that, what's the calamine lotion, and rubbed it all over your body so you wouldn't itch, and you just had to, just sit there and itch until the shit went away, but don't nobody want to touch you because it's contagious. Well, it is a form of herpes. It is a viral infection, and almost everybody in this motherfucking world has had chickenpox. Itchy rash consisting of small, raised, blistered, or crusted spots, and that's exactly what they are. Now, I can't say none of my kids had chickenpox at all, and I contracted herpes. It was after my first baby, before my second baby, and the second and the third baby, neither of them have it. I wasn't outbreaking, when I was delivering, so everything was good. And none of my kids ever had chickenpox. So it says chickenpox most often affects children, but the vaccine has greatly decreased the number of cases. Now, the first 2 kids were vaccinated. My little baby, he has not been vaccinated, and he hasn't had chickenpox. And gratitude. We're going to make sure he out of good. So before the rash appears, children have a mild headache, moderate fever, loss of appetite, and a great feeling of illness. The diagnosis is based on symptoms, particularly the rash. So there we are again. They are looking for the rash. They are looking for a visual that this is what this is. Like I said, I went to the doctor and they would not test my blood for herpes. They would not test it. And her exact words were, "We only test if you have blisters." So I didn't have none for her to test. Most children recover completely, although some children get very sick and can even die. Routine vaccination can prevent chickenpox. Usually, only the symptoms need to be treated. Chickenpox is an infection that mostly affects children. It is caused by the varicella zoster virus, which is a type of what? Herpes virus type 3. And I'm saying it like that because, bam, there you go. When you go and get some knowledge, you will see, hey, it ain't even all that bad as it sounds. This herpes, when people hear herpes, their stomach start turning. Shit, when I heard that my herpes test was positive, my stomach motherfucking turned and dropped. But I didn't have knowledge of it. I didn't really know what was going on. Everything just happened so fast. But here you go, chickenpox. So let's go now to this other strain of herpes, because I want to make sure that everybody has a really good understanding of what the herpes virus is. So if you meet someone and they have herpes and you really like them, like it's not as bad as it seems. Like, we are able to safely have relations. It ain't like I'm just gonna pass it to you, because I ain't getting ready to be doing nothing if I have an outbreak. Number one. Number two, I haven't had an outbreak all year long. So, and number three, I am going to cure this thing, and I have already gotten rid of 97% of it in my body because I'm not having any more outbreaks. And that's just that. Them the facts. So it took me back. It says Cyto. Okay, Epstein-Barr virus, herpes type 4, causes infectious mononucleosis. Infectious mononucleosis. It can be a number of diseases, including infectious mononucleosis. The virus is spread through kissing. Symptoms vary, but the most common are extreme fatigue, fever, sore throat. Let's read some more about herpes virus type 4. So we can clear the air, because I'm sick of y'all. And a lot of us were, victimized. So shit just happened. Or we were just unknowledgeable. We didn't know. Shit, y'all be acting like y'all ain't never got burnt and had to go to the doctor and get rid of some shit. Well, shit, when we got burnt this time, we had to go and get something to maintain so it don't keep coming up. Shit, sick of y'all. Now, Epstein-Barr virus, infectious mononucleosis. This is for all you ignorant people out there. People that are unknowledgeable about what the fuck is really going on with this virus. This virus is spread through kissing. Symptoms vary, but the most common are extreme fatigue, fever, sore throat, and swollen lymph nodes. A blood test is done to confirm the diagnosis. So this one, they want to do a blood test. The goddamn fly. This one, they want to do a blood test. And they give you anti-inflammatory. It says EBV is a type of herpes virus called herpes virus 4. In the United States, about 50% of all children 5 years of age and nearly 90% of adults have had an EBV infection. Very common. It says it typically develops in adolescents. You have to kiss someone who is infected. All right, so that is herpes virus type 4. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It helps us out a whole lot, and it makes me want to come and give y'all more content. I have a whole lot of things that I want to tell y'all about this virus, and I want y'all to finish taking this journey with me on naturally curing it. Herpes zoster shingles. Shingles is a painful skin rash caused by a viral infection that results from reactivation of the varicella zoster virus, the virus that causes chickenpox. So shingles, if you get shingles, shingles is just chickenpox. And this chickenpox reactivated. So if you got shingles in your adult life, or if you got shingles, you had chickenpox, and the chickenpox is reactivated, and that's the shingles. So I just want to make sure everybody understand what's going on. It says what causes the virus to reactivate is usually unknown, but sometimes reactivation occurs when a disorder or drug weakens the immune system. So it's very important that you keep your immune system strong, because when you're fighting viruses, you got to have the artillery. Your artillery in your body is your immune system. So you want to strengthen your immune system. And to everyone who has a strain of herpes, cold sores, HSV1, HSV2, genital, shingles, if you get shingles, or the kissing one. You want to strengthen your immune system, and be able to fight off. You want to be able to fight the enemies off. So I'm trying to put it in terms where you can understand it. Painful rash of fluid-filled blisters. Shingles is a painful rash of fluid-filled blisters and sometimes results in chronic pain in the affected area. Doctors diagnose shingles when typical blisters appear on a strip of skin. Chickenpox vaccine, and for people age 50 and over, the shingles vaccine can help prevent it. Antiviral. So here's antiviral again. If you want to fight a virus, what do you want? Something that is not viral, something that is antiviral, something that will fight the virus. We'll go into more detail about fighting the virus and doing all that. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I've been doing research. But chickenpox is the initial infection for shingles. So if you got shingles, you had chickenpox that reactivated. That's just what it is. This is the stuff that they don't tell you, and this is why they make herpes sound like it's so bad. Well, you ain't got it, so you don't even know what the fuck it feel like or none of that. It don't feel good. So I encourage anyone who has ever, made fun of anyone if they heard about it and stuff. People talk. It's not funny, goddammit. It ain't motherfucking funny. Okay? That shit hurt. And I guarantee you, if you got a whiff of that shit, you wouldn't be goddamn laughing either. Okay? Now, that's chickenpox. So I'm about to get off here. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, but I wanted to really dig into what is herpes, because a lot of you niggas don't know that you got a strain of herpes. It's just hiding. If you had chickenpox when you were little, go ask your mamas and your daddies and your grandmas and your grandpappies and ask them, do you have chickenpox? And if you had chickenpox and you old enough to remember, you gonna know that you had chickenpox because you felt all of that. I remember when I had chickenpox. I remember it. Yeah. I'm itching just looking at that shit. See the blisters? Chickenpox. That's a herpes outbreak. It's just on his face. And they categorize them based on where you're going to break out at. If you're going to break out, when you're younger and, it's rashes, it's chickenpox. If you break out when you're older and, like shingles, it's shingles. If you break out on your lips, it's cold sores, HSV1. If you break out in your genital areas, it's HSV2, herpes. But out of all of them, you see chickenpox has a nickname. HSV1, cold sores, has a nickname. Shingles has a nickname, but they didn't give the genital herpes, they didn't give that a nickname. Wonder why. So it can sound worse than what it really is. Yeah. And they always want to talk about vaccination is the prevention. No, it's not. It's not the only motherfucking prevention, and it's not the only way to heal and cure stuff. But we're not going to go into that right. This is a safe space for all of us out there who have herpes in this world. So it says 50 to 80% of American adults have oral herpes, and that is what causes cold sores or fever blisters. 500 million people worldwide are living with genital herpes, and several billion have an oral herpes infection. New estimates show this was in 2020. 80%, 50 to 80% of American adults have oral herpes. Cold sores and fever blisters is another name that they give it. Why y'all ain't give genital herpes a nickname? Why we can't call it the pop-ups or some shit like that? Why I gotta be so negative? And it's all about perspective. And I want to, change and adjust y'all perspective, because y'all only reacting because you're unknowledgeable, because you don't know what the fuck is really going on with these people and in their bodies. And here's another one. Over 500,000 people ages 14 to 49 have genital herpes in the United States. That's a lot of people. Globally, 67% of the population, or 3.7 billion people under age 50, have HSV1, HSV2. Okay? 491 million people. Y'all see this stuff. But look it up. 572,000 new genital herpes. When was this? See? All this information out here, and this internet is moving slow. Nationwide 11.9%. That's in the nation. So it's very common. We are not alone. Okay? Stop being ashamed. Let's stop being ashamed. It's common in the United States. And why is it so common? Because so many people are ashamed, they are hiding it, and actually men can pass it quicker than women can, because their sores are on their shaft. Whereas women, I don't think it's painful for them, because that's how I got it. I had intercourse with somebody and he had an outbreak. And he lied about what it was. And we were not having protected sex, so. But women, I know for me personally, it's very uncomfortable. So I just can't see someone having sex unless they're being forced while they're, having an outbreak, because it's very painful. And, that's just that. But here we are on the CDC website, and, this is where everything is at. They put it out here for you to see. You just got to go look for it. CDC estimated that there were 572,000 new genital herpes infections in the United States in a single year. This is ridiculous. It says, however, the prevalence of genital herpes infection is higher than that, because an increasing number of genital herpes infections are caused by HSV1, which is oral, mouth. It says HSV1 is typically acquired in childhood. It's more common among women than among men, genital. The percentage of those affected during 2015 and 16 was 15.9% versus 8.2%. It's easier for a woman to catch it too. Okay. You hear that? It said this is possible because genital infection is more easily transmitted from men to women than from women to men. Did y'all hear that? Do y'all see this? Let me highlight this for the people. Let's highlight this. It says this is possibly because genital infection is more easily transmitted from men to women than from women to men. I just said this out my mouth, and this was before I read this, because this is my first time going to this, because I was just giving y'all the definition, and but a man is gonna pass it quicker than a woman is. Okay, so let's clear the air and make y'all aware, because I'm sick of y'all. Gratitude. HSV2 infection is more common among non-Hispanic blacks than among non-Hispanic whites. Okay. Then it goes on to tell you how the people get it. Herpes lesions. Infections are transmitted through contact with HSV and herpes lesions, mucosal surfaces, genital secretions, or oral secretions during sex when there's moisture in these lesions, and it will pass. Okay, you see where it says when I was talking to you about shedding, this is how it's passed. HSV1 and HSV2 can be shed from normal appearing oral or genital mucosa or skin. Okay. um Generally, a person who can only get HSV2 infection during genital contact with someone who has a genital HSV2 infection, right? So there has to be an infection going on. It has to be not an infection. Yes, the infection has to exist, but the sores, the lesions have to exist. There has to be something there to shed the virus. If you're not shedding the virus, meaning you're not having outbreaks, you haven't recently had an outbreak, you cannot pass it. So let me make this clear. When you're dealing with someone who in a relationship and you find out, they have HSV2, HSV1, whatever strain, whatever. If there are no active lesions, then they can't pass it to you. Okay, so when I'm not having an outbreak, it's like I don't have the virus. But I've gotten rid of 97% of the virus in my own body. And there is a feeling that you get when you're about to have an outbreak. My fellow herpes recipients, y'all know what I mean. It's a feeling, like a tingly feeling that, and okay, I'm getting ready to have an outbreak. Okay, but I've had this tingly feeling, but nothing comes about. And there's a video. I can't think of the guy's name right now, but he's researching an actual cure, to actually researching a way to mutate genes or something of that sort. I got to go back and look at it, and I'll bring that to y'all when I get ready. But he states in there too, he talks about the shedding. He talks about passing it, and things of that sort. So let's just clear the air. I'm gonna say this one more time. If you know someone or are thinking about getting a relationship with someone, or want to get to know somebody some more, thinking about having intercourse with someone who has a herpes, genital herpes specifically is what I'm talking about, oral too, because you see the fever blisters, don't engage. But if that person is not having an active outbreak, if that they're not shedding, they are not able to pass it. So it is like they don't have the virus. So it's when it's activated, or visible, you can see it, or that person can feel it, symptoms of it, then they are able to pass it in those moments, because it's shedding, because it's out, it's saying hello, it came from out the back and it came up to the front. But then when it's sitting in the back and it's just back there chilling, you don't see anything, and they're not shedding. Like me, I wouldn't be shedding because I haven't had an outbreak all year long. Gratitude for that. I'm so grateful. But I've been working at it. Like, I don't eat meat, and I take certain herbs and do certain things, put certain things into my body. But we'll go into detail about that later. So yeah, I just want to clear the air. So if I'm not having an outbreak, I can't pass it. I'm just like someone who doesn't have it, and that goes for anybody who does have it. If they're not having an outbreak, they're not shedding, they are not able to pass it, it's like they don't have it. So if y'all want to get nasty, y'all can get nasty. I'm just saying. But that is all I have for y'all today. I'm going to get off of here. I appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. Dasha Speaks. I'm giving you the lit on herpes virus, a cure, all that, natural, manage, and yeah. Now, and I'm gonna keep it coming. So I love y'all. Holla at y'all. Be well, be good, be easy, be at peace, be, one with yourself, love yourself with everything that comes with you, however it is. Embrace herpes if you have it. Okay, it's a billion plus of us out here, who done got it. If you're, fucking with people on that level where you're going to be intimate, let's be verbal about it. Let's speak up and tell them, hey, this is what I got going on, just so they know. You know what I'm saying? Let a nigga or person or female, whoever, whatever you're dealing with, give them the opportunity to, decide, hey, I want to deal with this person as they are, or I don't. And if they choose not to, then they won't for you to begin with. So out. I'll holla at y'all and be blessed. That's what herpes is.